Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, or good morning. We have people throughout the world that watch this program. Got a few people that watch in England sometimes, stay up late at night. Really appreciate that. I just wanted to let everybody know, okay, I just saw that I got my notification on my phone. Sometimes it takes a few minutes for people to get notifications when I'm doing a live stream. And I just wanted to hop on for a few minutes to just kind of give an update on a few things and talk preview some interviews that I have filmed or will be filming, and some books that I will be featuring on the program. I always give it a few minutes because I want people to hop on live and to be able to watch this live stream and communicate with me in real time in the chat. So Cultural High says, "Hey Stephen, hey Cultural Hall, let's talk soon. There's so many interesting things happening, and I enjoy our conversations." You're two of my most favorite people I love talking to on the phone are Cultural Hall and Jacob Hansen. How's that? Okay, so I wanted to actually share with people a few things. I just received this in the mail yesterday. And what is this? What is this interesting script? Well, if you are a regular viewer of Mormon Stories, you would know that this is the opening statement from the Chronicles of Jeranek. And this is the Adamic language, and it is translated by Matthew Gill, the prophet, seer, and revelator of the restored branch of Jesus Christ in merry old England. And it is interpreted as, "My name is Jeranek, son of Ishna, from the house of Ishna." So I helped actually. I think they ended up going with a printer that I'd recommended in India. It's the same printer that Denver Snuffers group used as their scriptures, and it's a compilation of the Chronicles of the Children of Aranek. It's this beautifully leather-bound edition, and it's green, and it looks like you got like a tree of life symbology going on the front cover. And this has actually two books, because allegedly Matthew Gill. Okay, oh, Leroy Thomas is in the house. That's great. So Leroy, I'm getting an indication here that I have an unstable connection. So let me know if you guys are, if this is coming through loud and clear. Leroy, this is Matthew Gill. He's from England, and he allegedly came across metal plates that were given to him by an angel, and he had a Urim and Thummim, and he translated these plates that gave us the history of, allegedly, is the history of the people who built Stonehenge. These people actually migrated during the period of the Tower of Babel, and he found these lost records, and so this is their sixth edition, and he allegedly translated it from, I guess, the Adamic language on the gold plates. And so this is okay. It says internet is lagging. Yeah. Okay, I see that. I don't know what I should do here. Yeah, it says I got a bad connection. Well, let me know it's okay at the moment, Steve. Okay, great. Maybe that was just a minor glitch. If it keeps on acting up, just let me know, and I'll just do like another stream this weekend. If it continues to be okay, let me know. If it starts acting up again, let me know. A couple more books I want to talk about is I'll be interviewing the author Ted Turner and the person he wrote this about, called The Tornado's Daughter, the inspiring true story of Charlotte Gwalt. That's actually a pseudonym. I met Charlotte. She does have a different name, but it's an interesting life story written by a Latter-day Saint. Also, Lost Doctrines of the Restoration, written by Robert Warcup. I'm going to be talking with him soon. Also, I just want to let everybody know that David Boyce of 52 Churches in 52 Weeks was out here last weekend, and he kindly signed my copy of his book and got to meet my mom and some of my friends. So that's kind of the updates. Here we are. Again, I'm very excited about this set. I will be interviewing, just to preview an interview, I will be interviewing Matthew Gill about this set of scriptures that he's, and I imagine I'm one of the first people in America to receive a copy. So last year he came on my program and needed to raise like $2,500. I think he had already raised like $1,000 to do the printing. And he came on the program and he ended up raising all the money he needed, I guess, from my understanding, by coming on my program. So I was glad to be able to help. Also, yesterday's episode, I got some flack well, I talked about Josh McDowell's The New Evidence That Demands a Verdict book with Ryan Wimmer. And I just posted on there that I did a little brief reply to Aaron Shalafaloff and Eric Johnson of Mormonism Research Ministry. And Eric seemed to take offense to it. I hope he watched the video and realized that I wasn't attacking him. He was very defensive. So Eric, if you're watching, you're probably not. But if you are, as I was privately DMing you, because I don't like to do the public disputations. I like to keep things. I just don't like that. I think it's silly. So I DM'd him directly and told him, I said, I hope this can lead to a better dialogue between us. So I'm hopeful and prayerful. Okay, so I wanted to talk about a few interviews I recently did that will be released over the course of the next couple weeks. I had an interesting conversation with a person who is very much it has many connections in the world of politics in the state of Idaho. And this person is a pretty well-known blogger. I found him on Reddit, and basically, he was, he's part of the Latter-day Saint tradition. He is a longtime Republican consultant, and he's been documenting the takeover of the Republican Party by far right Christian nationalists, and has also shown that many Christian nationalists have actually campaigned against Mormons, saying that they're not Christian, and how the rise of Christian nationalism is just a preview of what we could see happen is as Christian nationalists gain a foothold and more power in this country, that they will eventually turn on Latter-day Saints. And that's kind of the concern that he expressed to me. This interview is really an important one. That's why I titled it the live stream for this. Probably going to release it as early as this is my Tuesday slot. And I have to tell you, first of all, okay, I'm just making sure everybody's good. Okay, I'm all caught up in the chat here. And I'm politically, I mean, I guess you could say I'm a lifelong Republican. I don't like the direction in many ways the Republican Party's taken. I'm more libertarianish in my leanings. And I am concerned about some of these far right movements that are hijacking, or in so many cases have hijacked the Republican Party. A lot of these people are part of like the dominionist, theocratic groups, Christian Reconstructionists, basically essentially say the only people that are qualified to hold political office are Christians. So, and they don't consider Latter-day Saints to be Christians. And it was reminded to me by this individual that up until 1982, on the books in the state of Idaho, they'd essentially had religious tests for people to hold office, specifically devised to keep Latter-day Saints from being able to hold elective office in the state of Idaho. So there's a history here of trying to disfranchise Latter-day Saints, and how if Christian nationalists have their way, they will do the same thing with Mormons. Now, in many cases, a lot of people feel like Christian nationalists and many Latter-day Saints politically line up together in many ways, and that's very true. But also, people are saying that these Christian nationalists, these Reconstructionists, these people are also people part of Doug Wilson's Christ Church in Moscow, Idaho. You also have another group in northern Idaho that's tied in with a far-right Catholic traditional group as well. And these are people that have employment with the Republican Party or have had employment. These are people that are part of all these outside organizations, these statewide organizations and networks that are very influential in the state legislature. Many of these groups are even sponsored by Mormons financially, even though you have people who sit on these boards who explicitly say that Mormons are not Christians. And with the understanding that these groups basically believe that only Christians should hold office, it could be a war on the saints once again. And one person predicted there would be a civil war, in particular between Catholics and Mormons, because they're the only two groups that are having the most kids, that will inevitably lead to a civil war between the two groups. This is a conspiratorial thinking kind of person, but this is kind of the thinking that illuminates this movement. So I think this interview I did is really important. I'm going to probably release it this Tuesday, and I really am concerned about some of the things the direction we're going in this country. Now, let me make it very clear. Just because you are a conservative doesn't mean that you're a racist. I am not one of those people. If you're a principled conservative, I'm in many ways still am a principled conservative. But there are people that are taking conservatism, taking the Republican Party, and have so radicalized it. Now, keeping in mind, and we discussed this in the episode too, this has also happened on the left too. There are extremist factions that have taken over the Democrat Party, and that's what's really leading to the two groups our country being torn is by the extremes, which are both minorities in both parties, but because they're the most active ones, or the ones that are active in the caucuses and the primaries, and those are often low turnout. These activists are able to get their people elected and throw out good people as well. All right, let me just make sure I'm catching everybody else here. I got okay. So, okay, here we go. If you go to my Facebook page and you want to see some more photographs of that I took of the Chronicles of Aranek, it's in there. I just also tomorrow I'll be taping an interview with Stephen Murphy and Gustavo Hernandez. Both are fellow YouTubers, and we're going to be having a conversation about our recent struggles. We've all had some issues over the last year, and why it's important to have a balanced life and how to navigate it while also podcasting. I've also recently taped an interview with Jonathan Neville, and we're talking about new approaches to Joseph Smith, the history. Also with Heidi Love, who has done an episode with me about Howard Hughes and the Mormon Mafia, which I think you'll find very interesting. And of course, my interview that I'm going to be releasing soon, this Tuesday. I'm not going to give his name yet publicly because I kind of want to post it out there. I'm kind of concerned there might be people who might want to try to sabotage this interview before it's posted. So I'm going to keep his name quiet from this end for now. Look for that episode to be released soon. Yeah, so covering all these different topics, I have to tell you, there's a lot of things that happen off the record that you'll never be made aware of in most cases. And, you find out a lot of things about a lot of things going on. Diebold says, why can't we have normal candidates? That's a great question, because these are abnormal times. These are not normal times. And I think there was a Coolidge. One of them ran under the banner of return to normalcy. I think we need a return to normalcy. But until we have that, I don't think normal is not normal. That's the reality. The abnormals become the normal. Okay, I want to just stick around for a little bit yet. Make sure that my feed is still going good. It sounds like I haven't been getting a complaint, so I'm happy with that. For those of you who'd like to get a shout out for me in the chat and want to leave a donation, that'd be great. You want to throw in a couple bucks, 5, 10, 15, 20 bucks. I always appreciate the donations. It's always appreciated. Cultural Hall says it seems the Republican Party doesn't want middle of the road candidates these days. Yeah, I think that in some ways the Democrats are the same way. I think that there was never a point in which the Democrat Party over the course of the last 8 years made a play for somebody like me. There was never a moment where they said, hey, for those of you who have concerns about Donald Trump, but you're still a principled conservative, there's a place for you here. And they never accommodated people like us. And there were millions of people that had issues with Donald Trump that were Republicans, and they never found a home in any other party. So, and again, I'm not political. Look, I'm accepting of the results. Like I'm not a hater about anything. I just have concerns about Donald Trump, but at the same time, he is our president, and we need to learn to live in this society. Okay, so let me think what else here. If there's anything else, been getting just so you know, I hear it from a lot of people that are going through faith crises, if that's a word, crises. And I just want to let all of you know that I talk to many people. They'll reach out to me. We'll go on Zoom calls or email or phone calls. And I just want to let you know that, if you're going through a faith crisis, I'm more than happy to talk to you. Now, I think if anybody who knows me knows that I don't have an agenda. I'm not trying to convert you. I'm just here to listen, to hear what you have to say. And there's a lot of Latter-day Saints that, really do have faith crises, and they feel like I'm somebody they can turn to talk to. They also know that I'm not anti, so I'm not going to try to talk them out of their religion. I just want to listen to hear what they have to say, and I think that's really important. And I just want to let you know, if you are a Latter-day Saint or an evangelical, and you're having faith struggles, please feel free to reach out to me. You can email me at mormonbookreviews@gmail.com, and we can communicate, and then we can find the best way to communicate, whether it's via phone or via Zoom. And I'm always there to help people go through these things, because I know what it's like to have a dark night of the soul or a dark decade of the soul. And sometimes you need people there that are sympathetic, that can listen to what you have to say. It's a real honor and privilege for people to share with me their stories. And I think it's really important that, in many ways, I hear a lot of Mormon stories myself, if you will, that will never probably ever be broadcast. Many people just don't want to tell their story, or they don't feel that they can at this time. Some may in the future want to come on and tell their story. And I think it's really important just to let you know that this is a safe space. This is the Switzerland of Mormonism. I'm not here to go and bash on anybody's faith. I'm not here to bash atheists either. I'm not here to bash Latter-day Saints or Christians or Jews or Muslims. This is not a place where we bash people. We accept people where they're at in their journey as it stands. And I'm just here to listen. And if you have any questions or need anything, any guidance or whatever, I'm just a dude. I've gone through my life experiences. I'm not really qualified to tell anybody how to help people, but I do think that sometimes it's important to have somebody that you can listen to. And I just want to let everybody know that that's the space that I'm privileged to occupy. So just to let everybody know, I did with a health update. With my mom, she's doing much better. She went to the orthopedist the other day. Okay, so Diebold, I'm going to ask your question. Yeah, okay. Colby, yes. Winner, chicken dinner. That's the person. D-Bolt says, I'm an atheist, enjoy your show. Do you ever attend a ward? Yes. So I do occasionally attend the local Lakewood Ranch ward here in Florida. There's people there that when I first started going there knew who I was, and I've made some new friends there. I have also know the bishop and the stake president, and have been shown to be very welcome. As a matter of fact, every new Mormon missionary that comes to the Lakewood Ranch ward gets a hot meal on me, and sometimes will even visit my studio and be able to look at all my exciting and interesting books. So yeah. Okay, so what? Oh, I was saying. Oh, and Steve likes. Yep, and the cultural host says, and Steve likes to take the missionaries out to eat. So that, like I just said. So yeah, so I'm very close to my local community. And actually, that was actually a couple of years ago. I just find myself buzzed into all these rooms. I woke up that morning not expecting that within a few hours I would be on the top floor of the church office building and being buzzed into places that most people don't normally get buzzed into. And I remember looking down on President Nelson's office, from the top floor, and thinking to myself, here I am in the top of the floor of the church office building, looking down on President Nelson's office, and I haven't even been to my local ward yet. So, so I visited my local ward actually because about 3 miles down the road, they opened up the Sarasota Stake Center. And that was when I had the opportunity to meet Apostle Elder Nelson, and had a great moment with him. And then actually ran into him again at the Tallahassee Temple this past fall when I got a private tour from Ahmad Corbett, who's a 70. And ran into him, and he went to me and said, Steve, well, he didn't say my name, but he recognized me and said, I want to tell you, I really appreciate the work that the interfaith work that your channel's doing. So this is from a member of the Quorum of the 12 who said this. So yeah, Cultural Health says, they are going to make, first of all, D-Bolt says they're going to make you the ward librarian. Probably. Cultural Hall says you made it to the top of the great and spacious buildings, Steve. Haha. Okay. And Cultural says you meant Anderson. Yes, Neil Anderson. Did I say another name? I apologize. It was Elder Neil Anderson that I encountered at the temple. Okay. Well, I just wanted to do a quick hop on, give everybody an update. I know I was going to say something, and then I lost my train of thought. You pesky people in the chat, and I'll probably maybe remember it some other time. But Alan Young, currently registered Republican, also Latter-day Saint. Okay, well, I just want to let everybody, but just make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. Got some really interesting interviews coming down, and very interesting people that we're talking to. I'm very excited about the interviews that I'll be releasing and the ones that I'll be taping. And that reminds me, I need to send a link to Stephen and Gustavo tonight because we are taping tomorrow morning. Okay. Oh, shoot. I was just catching up and heard you wanted to keep his name secret. Colby Reddish. Yeah, that's okay. He's a good dude. Yeah, that's okay. It's fine. It's not a super secret thing, Colby, because I've already posted his name on Facebook, but it's all good. All right. Everybody, really love you and appreciate you. Just remember my interview with this gentleman who's plugged into Idaho politics will be released next week. Make sure you're liked and subscribed. I think it's really important. This is not just about Idaho politics. This is about a movement that's happening across the country where you have these hardcore right-wing Christian nationalists who want to take over America, make it a Christian nation, and basically ensure that only Christians would be able to serve in political power, therefore excluding Latter-day Saints. So keep that in mind, folks. That's on Colby. Yes, you know too much about Colby Reddish, about Idaho politics. And I learned a lot about it in the last few weeks myself. All right, folks, I hope everything's going great for you. Have yourself a great weekend and be well. And remember this, all the voices of the restoration will be heard here on Mormon Book Views.